going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Eric, and today we're going to start a new review series, and we're going to talk about my second favorite band, and the band is called Live. I love Live. Okay, they're my second favorite after Bon Jovi, of course, but I still absolutely adore this band. I got into this band when they released Throwing Copper, like a lot of people did. I bought their third album, Secret Samadhi. I was a super fan, and at some point, I don't remember exactly when, but at some point I'm like, I got to get their first album, because they actually have an album before Throwing Copper. And here it is. It's called Mental Jewelry, and today we're going to be reviewing this album. I remember buying this from BMG. Do you remember those CD companies that you would join as a club and you would get like 10 CDs a month or something for $12? Something stupid. I don't know how they did that, but it was awesome. And I definitely got a whole bunch of CDs. And I know it's BMG because back on the back, the barcode doesn't have a barcode. It just says BMG Direct Marketing Incorporated and has their address. So definitely I got this from BMG. And when I got this album, I didn't know what to expect. Would it be as good as Throwing Copper and Secret Samadhi? Would it be as good as the Live that I know? How would it sound? Would it sound amateurish because they didn't have all this money back then? I had no clue what to expect. And right off the bat, this thing blew me away. This is clearly 100% Live. It does have a little more of a raw sound. I think that they did have some growth after this album. I think Ed's vocals are not quite 100% there yet. I mean, they sound edgy. They sound awesome. Don't get me wrong. He may be trying a little too hard, if anything. And after this album, he seemed to just relax because he's got a great voice just naturally. But his voice is edgy. The instruments are awesome here, a little bit different. The guitar is not as prominent. The bass is what's prominent. The bass just drives. And it's just a really cool album. Like I said, they had some growth and they had some changes that they made over the years. But certainly, this album is Live, unmistakably. And the lyrics are there more than anything else. I think that Ed Kowalczyk is just a brilliant songwriter. And I think he knocked it out of the park. And he usually does, including on his solo albums. He's an incredible songwriter. And as a band, when they're all there together, these four guys are just absolutely incredible. So I'm going to be reviewing every Live album, including the one album that Ed Kowalczyk wasn't involved in. That's going to be interesting. So we're going to go through this entire review series. And I'm going to start with this one. I'm just going to run through the songs. It's not going to be as in-depth as some of my past reviews. I need to keep these a little bit more concise so I can get through them quicker and so I don't get copyright hits all over the place. So I'm not going to be able to play the music, just so you know, right up front, but I do want to go through these songs right here and talk about some of them. So Pain Lies on the Riverside. Oh my goodness, when that drum came in on this album, and then the bass with all that craziness and the guitar and everything hits, it was like whoa. And I remember to this day, the first time I heard this album, it just completely blew me away. And I love this song. And I think it has a great chorus, great hook, and it just drives. And that's the key to how this thing gets started with Pain Lies on the Riverside. Absolutely great song, awesome chorus, and let's get started with a bang. I'd say this song is easily a 9.5 out of 10. I just don't quite give it a 10. To me, a 10 means I just absolutely love this song. Wouldn't change anything about it. And really, there's only one of those on this album, and that'd be the next song. Operation Spirit, The Tyranny of Tradition, is awesome. It also drives, but I just think it has a better hook, and I love the lyrics. Now, some people may take some exception to the lyrics, but there's a lot of deep lyrics on this album, questioning religion sometimes, very spiritual stuff, just lots of interesting topics, and that's what Ed Kowalczyk does, and he does it amazing. I think that even if I may not agree with some lyrics, I think that they're still beautiful, and just questioning certain things, it's part of life, and I can relate to a lot of that stuff. And absolutely love Operation Spirit, The Tyranny of Tradition. It is my favorite on the album. It's a 10 out of 10 to me. It's an awesome song. It's one of my favorite Live songs, period. Then you have The Beauty of Grey, and the album just keeps on rocking right here. I love this song. This song has a lot of different styles. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's driving, sometimes it's got some beautiful acoustic work, sometimes it's just kicking ass like rock and roll. So it has a lot of that, but that matches the lyrics, because this song is about kind of coming together, harmony. What's one of the key words that we hear this day and age all the time that people say? Diversity, right? Diversity. They were singing about this in 1991 before it was this hot topic, thing that people always talk about and they don't always even mean it, what they say. It's just something we say. Diversity inclusion. Well, diversity inclusion is extremely important, and Live were singing about this way back in the early 90s, and I think they did a great job representing it on this song musically and lyrically, because there's just a lot of different elements to this song, yet it still comes together as one. And it's a really awesome song. I love The Beauty of Grey. I would say it's a 9.5 as well. I'm going to leave it just short of a 10, but I love The Beauty of Grey. And Brothers Unaware, the first 4 songs, woo! Now, Brothers Unaware is one I didn't love at first. Took me more time to grow on me, I'll say that. Whereas the first 3, like, off the bat, like, holy shit. Brothers Unaware is a great song, and the chorus has grown on me to the point that I love it almost as much as The Beauty of Grey. In fact, I'll give it a 9.5 as well. It just has a chorus that touches me more as an adult. When I first got this album, I was probably 17. I was, 18, barely an adult. But now, Brothers Unaware, as I went through my 20s, I listened to the song when I was in the Army and things like that. Brothers Unaware became probably my second favorite on the album. I'm going to give this one a 9.5. Barely short of a 10, but it's a great song. And then you have Tired of Me. A really cool song as well. It's got a cool chorus and everything, but this is the first song that drops off from, a 9, 9.5, 10 type territory. It's got a cool groove and everything. There are points that I enjoy it, but just the build up to the chorus and the verses, there's a point where everything kind of stops except the drums and the vocals, and I never did a whole lot for me. Just the chorus has some catchiness to it, but I think they took this concept in Tired of Me and did it a lot better in later songs from later albums that remind me of this song, but done a lot better. That's not that I don't like Tired of Me. I like it, but it's about a 7. And then Mirror Song is a really nice slow song, and it kind of brings all those philosophical questions that kind of this whole album is based on. It kind of brings them all into this one song. It's not like anything mind-blowing, but I love this song. I love Mirror Song. And that's halfway through the album. So the first 6 songs are just incredible. The first half of this album is definitely the better half, about as you'll see. But Mirror Song, I'm going to give it a 9. I really like this song. It just kind of touches me. I can feel it. I can feel the power in the song, and I really like it a lot. And this definitely is a tale of 2 halves, as many albums are. I think it drops off in the second half. I think it has a clear drop off, but still easy, not hard to listen to, not terrible or anything like that. And you have song number 7, Waterboy.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mama's right.
This is a short song. It drives. It rocks. There's no doubt about it. I like the chorus. There's even some background vocals. Live is not a band known for their harmonies or anything, but there is some cool background vocals and some awesome chorus parts there that really kick. But overall, this does remind me of several Live songs over the years. They'll have 1 or 2 per album, which it rocks, but the hook is not as strong as some of the other songs. That's what I would say about Waterboy. It rocks, it's cool, but it doesn't have a hook like Pain Lies or Operation Spirit or Brothers Unaware. It doesn't quite get to those levels for me, but I still like it. I mean, I like it enough to give it an 8. So Waterboy is still fine to start the second half. And to be honest, so is Take My Anthem, the next one. These are okay. They're not bad. It's got cool guitar effects. It's got a kind of a spooky sound. I love how the first verse, the bass line just kind of crawls along. And you have the guitar has got this delay effect on it. It's cool. And then everything, boom, comes together. Pretty cool production value on this song, to be honest. Once this one gets going, Take My Anthem does that. Again, the bass line. Throughout the album, you will know, when you're listening to Mental Jewelry, when you hear that, funky bass and some of those, it's just like, okay, this is definitely Mental Jewelry. You don't hear that anywhere else, a little bit maybe here and there slightly, but nothing like on this album. So anyway, yeah, I like Take My Anthem. I like the build up. It kind of stops before the chorus. He says, no, and then it goes into that chorus, take my anthem today. Really a fun song. It's a cool song. It's got a cool vibe, cool sound, nothing overly catchy, nothing overly spectacular. I'd say also an 8 on par with Waterboy. Different styles completely, but as far as how much I like them, both about an 8. Then you have You Are the World. Never loved this one. It's kind of similar to Take My Anthem, but not as good. I didn't feel as much of a hook. I didn't love the lyrics as much. It just takes time. It's slow. The verses are just, if you ever known peace, if you've ever known joy, if you've ever known, make sure you are on time. It's that song that goes in the chorus offhand. I don't even, it says You Are the World, obviously. So this one is a little bit forgettable. I mean, I've heard these songs probably hundreds of times, even these later ones, because when I would listen to CDs and albums, I just listen to the whole thing, for the most part, or I have it in a in a set list or something that will just repeat randomly. But You Are the World, not one of my favorites, although I guess I got to give it a rating. I'd say about a 6.5. And then my least favorite is Good Pain. This is where the album just falls off. Like, it feels like it's going to fall off a complete cliff here. Good Pain is just kind of forgettable to me. I can kind of remember it. I have to listen to it when it comes on. It's got some decent drums. It's got it tries to drive like some of the previous tracks, but it doesn't. The hook is just like almost non-existent for me anyway for this song. It just doesn't have a memorable chorus. And I think this is it feels like a really early live song that they threw on. This might be one of the first ones they wrote for this album. Like a very, very early, young band just getting together, trying to write something cool. I'm not saying the instruments are cool, it sound all right, and his vocals sound good because he's a great singer, all that. It's live, but this is one of my least favorite live songs. Good Pain was appropriate title, I give it that. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 10. Don't like Good Pain very much. But they rebound here in this 11th song. It's called Mother Earth is a Vicious Crowd. This song really speaks to me. I love the way it flows. I love the chord progression. And it's got some strength. It's got some spiritual strength. It almost feels like it would be like a deep Christmas song. Like not talking about Jingle Bells, but one of those really deep ones. With the in the back, and just something powerful. But with some minor chords in there, not overly joyous or anything, but just something deep. I don't know, These Three Kings, something strong. I don't know if I can think of any really good examples, but it's got a really cool chord progression, and it feels powerful. I don't think it's still as good as the first few tracks, but coming off a Good Pain, we need something to kind of relieve some of that pain, and I think that Mother Earth is a Vicious Crowd does it quite well. I always enjoy this song. I kind of forget about it, then it comes, I'm like, this is awesome. Oh yeah, yes, Mother Earth. This is some kick-ass live right here. I'm going to give this song an 8.5. I think it's probably my favorite song on the second half. And then you got 10,000 Years Pieces Now, which is okay. I think that it would have been better just to finish it on Mother Earth. I love the title, 10,000 Years Pieces Now. That's definitely a live title if I've ever heard one. But again, cool instruments. It's okay, but I don't feel much of a real hook on this one. So overall, is the album a disappointment? I'd say no, the album is not a disappointment. This is their debut album, and I got it after a couple of awesome albums. And knowing it was their first, I didn't know what to expect. And when you get the first half of this just absolutely kicks ass and blows you away, well, you got to be happy, even though it does kind of slow down. But for me, the standouts, definitely Pain Lies on the Riverside, Operation Spirit, Beauty of Grey, Brothers Unaware, Mirror Song. I like Tired of Me is pretty good. Mother Earth is a Vicious Crowd for sure. And a couple of disappointments like Good Pain. Okay. You Are the World is pretty good. 10,000 Years Pieces Now is a little disappointing, to be honest, as a finisher. But this is just what it is. It's a great intro to live music. It sets the stage, and you can tell the talent is there, the songwriting ability is there, the instrumentation is there, the talent is all over this album. And as a bunch of young guys, who knows how old they were, I don't know, but I'm sure young kids, maybe 17, 18, maybe 20. I'm not really sure how old they were, but they were very young at this point. But I got to give huge props to some of these songs. And Operation Spirit still to this day remains one of my favorite live songs. So that is my review for the first live album called Mental Jewelry. Let me know what you guys think of this album if you've heard it. Look forward to more live reviews. We're going to go through their entire freaking catalog, everything. And I love this band. Trust me, we're going to be going through some amazing stuff right here. This is just the start. You guys have a fantastic day. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe if you're new. Let me know what you think down below. Any other requests of any other bands you'd like me to do. And we'll talk to you guys next time.